2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome to the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And folks, you can feel the fierceness, the intensity of this series setting the tone prior to Game 3. We'll watch the visiting squad as they go up against the New York Knicks. Checking out New York. Tonight a chance to press their advantage after an impressive road win in Game 2. They're approaching this one with a lot of confidence. And after stealing one on the road, they've put themselves in the driver's seat. Shaq, how big is this home court advantage?
Obviously not technically a must-win for either team, but it will certainly be a pivotal game when we look back at the series.
What kind of a game will it be?
Pivotal. Pivotal.
I agree with you.
P-I-B-B-O-B-O-L. Pivotal.
I could not have said that.
In a sold-out arena here in New York City. Welcome, everyone, to Game 3 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. We're all tied at 1-1. If the first two games have been any indication, we should be in for a great series. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. You look at the Knicks. They managed to take one game on the road. Now the challenge to take care of business on their home court.
And, anytime you're going on the road, the first two games, realistically, you're hoping to get a split. So I'm sure they're happy with where they stand. They've stolen home court advantage. Now they need this one. They got to get greedy.
Yeah, you know what? Despite getting the split, I still have them as the underdog in this series, Greg. I mean, it's a very good team they're up against. They're just not going to lay down for them.
We got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Taking a look at Athens. The captain out there with the professor. Then it's the magician. Then there's the doctor. And it's the general in at the 4 spot. Now here's Anthony. Shoots the 3. The offensive rebound. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play.
Athens shooting their first free throw tonight. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively, they desperately need a basket.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
Taking 2 shots. And Calderon drops them both.
He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throws. Beautiful to watch.
Now let's go over to Doris Burke, who spoke with Derek Fisher. Doris?
Stealing a win on the road was huge for them, but Coach said that protecting their home court is an even bigger issue. And to do that, he says the key is aggressive defense. As he put it, we want to prevent them from getting into any kind of comfort zone at our end of the floor. Guys, back to you.
And thank you for that, Doris.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Here's the professor. Again, Athens.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
To the paint, here's Lopez. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Lopez has got his first 2 points of the night. For Athens, they've gone 4 of 4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Good D by Lopez. The Knicks have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Lopez has got his second basket of the night.
Carmelo Anthony showing you his passing skill there.
Here's the doctor, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Boy, that was a violent throw down there.
You're telling me.
I mean, it's almost like he doesn't like the rim.
Calderon dishes to Butler. It's Anthony with the drive. Shot's good.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
For Athens, they've gone 5 of 6 so far from the field to start out the game. The captain passes to the magician. And a little luck that time, but it drops. The Magicians got his first points in this one.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Here's Porzingis. He's got 5. Shots good by Butler.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed.
And that's now 7 points for the General.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Now the feed to Lopez. Takes it off the glass.
15. Athens calls timeout.
And Athens decides to take their first timeout here. They're looking to start a new streak after losing on Monday.
And that was one of the few times that you'll see a team just lack fight defensively in losing that game.
Yeah, and I know their fans may not want to hear it, but the reality and the truth is the defensive end of the floor is not what it needed to be in terms of effort.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kevin Seraphin is checked in for Lopez. Flalo comes in for Porzingis. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jose Calderon. Derek Williams, he checked in for the Knicks.
And fancy finishes like that look great, but man, it's embarrassing when you blow them.
And he gets the buckets. And it's 6 points for the professor.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Anthony, and he jams it with authority.
And guys, that's one of the more basic plays in anybody's playbook, but not to mention also truly one of the best.
And Greg, the pick frees him up, and Clark, the dunk, caps it off.
Well, you know, for me, guys, it's all about positioning and anticipation on those screen plays, and they got it right there.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did, but boy, that was a nice job.
Here's Anthony. Aaron Aflalo picking up that last basket. Good.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Athens with another miss.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. And I like the job they've done with working the basketball. They've been moving and getting quality shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Knicks City Dancers.
And we're set to get started again for the next bit of action in this game 3. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Knicks.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Taking a look at Athens. We've got Mr. Perfect. Wizard out there with the great, and there's the General. Then it's Flash in at the 3 spot. And Aflalo drops them both. Athens trails by 10. The General passes to Mr. Perfect. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Mr. Perfect's got his first basket of the night.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
And Aflalo kicks to Calderon. Takes the 3. The shot misses. So Athens will take it the other way. And Flash gets it to go.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Now here's Calderon. He's tightly guarded. Now the dish to Aflalo. To the middle. That's tipped, and they get it back. To the paint. Here's the Wizard. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first.
You know what? I think he had to call timeout right now just to get his guys to regroup because they were really ragged out there.
Yeah, they've got to get some things straightened out. And sometimes the best way to do that is with the timeout. They look to be overwhelmed right now.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
The pass to Flash. Again, Evans.
And really, that's what you want every time down the floor. A simple, high-percentage shot.
Calderon dishes to Afflalo. Back to Calderon. Lets it go from deep. And the shot is good. Calderon's got 5 now.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Tries it from 9. That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Flash.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Lopez a screen. Off the screen. And Afflalo. Bucket on the assist by Calderon. And that's now 6 points for Aaron Afflalo. And Athens calls time here.
He did not seem happy about how things are going on right now and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
Porzingis, he's checked in for Lou Odmanson. And then for Athens, the Magician, he's checked in for Mr. Perfect. The chosen one, Porzingis, passes to Butler. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
Superb assist there. Played the role of the maestro on that one.
Here's the Magician. Again, Athens.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Butler kicks to Lopez. Back to Butler. Pass to Porzingis. 5 to shoot. 3-pointer. And again, New York with the triple.
They've done a really good job of knocking down their long-distance shots here in the second quarter. I mean, they're shooting just above 40% from downtown. That's outstanding.
Here's the great. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. A lot of offense came from this group during the regular season. Look here at the league's highest scoring shooting guards. 5th, Jimmy Butler.
And this is the cream of the crop at the 2-guard spot. I mean, strictly in terms of their scoring ability and the ease with which they can overwhelm would-be defenders.
And that's exactly what they do, overwhelm you. This is an aggressive attacking group. Each one of these guys is a one-man wrecking crew offensively.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Williams comes in for Porzingis. Carmelo Anthony is checked in for Butler. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jose Calderon. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Galloway, the pass to Afflalo. Feeds it to Williams. To the wing right side. There's a good screen. Kicks it to Anthony. Unloads from 13. Here's Afflalo. It's deflected. Here's the Doctor. The chosen one passes to the Magician. It's Anthony with the drive. He kicks to Galloway. And the shot no good, a bit short.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
To the inside. Here's the Magician. And the shot is good. The Magician's got 4 this quarter.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside. And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Here's the captain. Drills the 3-pointer. The captain's got himself on the board with 3 there.
The defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Dives for it. Here's Serafin. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. 20 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
But they'll probably let the clock wind down here.
Right on. I mean, no need to give the ball back before the end of the quarter in this situation. Wow. Faded away and floated it right over the big guy. That shot is almost impossible to block.
Outside Anthony. Steps back and fires. And a pretty tightly contested.
Well, Jose,
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Halfway through this round one matchup of the NBA playoffs, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Shaq. Checking out New York. The first two games of this series were evenly split, and the first half of this game followed suit. They're still searching, and that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started.
And we're back to the act. Here in this round one matchup. What a game we're seeing from the professor.
And everything magnified in a game of this magnitude. The microscope clearly on their go-to guy, and he came up huge in that first half.
That's what he's known for. Does not shy away from the marquee. His ability to raise his game according to the situation is what separates.
Anthony is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then there's Robin Lopez. And it's Calderon in at the point guard. That's Derek Fisher's five as we get going into the second half.
Was there any doubt what he was going to do with that putback? Flush it down.
Oh, that's some energy we just witnessed right there.
And that's the kind of energy you have to display when you want to attack that offensive glass.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effective.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
And there's the foul to go on the captain. That's his first foul. The Profits checked in for the captain. Out of bounds, Athens takes possession. Now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that had the most blocks during the regular season.
You know, they've been dominant thanks to their length and strength and concentration on blocking shots. They knocked a few balls practically out of the arena this season and hope to do the same here in the postseason.
A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Calderon dishes to Butler. Lopez a screen. Pass to Anthony. Got a hand on it. And now Athens on the break. Shot from 16. But on that shot, with that, the Knick lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from the Magician.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
The wide open look here for Anthony. Offensive rebound. Lopez kicks to Butler. Calderon has the open look. No good on the triple.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
And a fast break now for the Knicks. Moving it up. Here's Anthony. And it's Anthony again missing.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
The Knicks have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Calderon kicks to Anthony. And they double up Butler. Porzingis passes to Calderon. Clock at 6. New York needs to get off a shot. Porzingis can't hit. For Athens. And that one's good. The Generals got the lead up to 3 now for Athens.
What an amazing trick shot to confound the defender. Oh, man, that's awesome. He's taking him to school right there.
Anthony down low. Shot to stop the drought. Another shot. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kevin Serafin is checked in for Lopez. Derek Williams comes in for Porzingis. Aaron Aflalo, he's checked in for Butler. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jose Calderon.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
For Athens, they've gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Passes to Mr. Perfect. Ring shot on the way. He squares up and sinks it. Mr. Perfect's got his second bucket of the night.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Here's Serafin. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
You know, not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the board.
It's been brutal in terms of the physicality down low. No one to blame on that one but himself. When you get looks like that, you've got to take it there.
The general. That's good.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
It was Amundsen who's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And Athens also making a switch. The captain's checked in for the chosen one. Dishes to Amundsen. Aflalo left side. Goes back up. That's it. And the Athens lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Williams.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just run out of gas a little bit.
Here's Galloway. He feeds it to Serafin. On its way from Aflalo for 2. Connects. The jumper drops. Aflalo's got the game tied up here for New York. 5 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. 1 second left. Can't connect.
Knicks fans, these are your Knicks City dancers. Give it up.
And we welcome you back to our coverage of round 1 in the NBA. Athens shooting the ball with incredible accuracy. 68% so far. Taking a look at Athens. The magician out there with Champ. And there's the general. And there's Flash. And it's Mr. Perfect in at the center position.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
And Aflalo wide open. He shoots. The shot's good on the assist by Calderon. And that's 13 points for Aaron Aflalo. The pass to Flash. And the layup is good. And Athens leads by 1.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness. Back-to-back threes for them. Defense is slacking off a little.
You've got to respect that 3, or you'll give up points in a hurry.
Guys, what a game. 8 lead changes here.
Yeah, nobody giving up any ground either way, fellas.
Then don't be surprised if it comes down to the last possession.
One of the stories here, guys, the general getting it done today.
I mean, he's getting to the rack all game, and if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Derek Fisher was just going over the plan with his team. He is not happy with their perimeter defense, saying, guys, way too many open shots for them beyond the three-point line. We've got to press up closer and try to crowd them off the arc. Guys, we'll see if they got the message.
Thank you, Doris. For Athens, they've gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Calderon passes to Porzingis. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Off target with his 3. Unloads from 13. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. 10 points for the Magician.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Lopez kicks to Anthony, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
No question. That's their goal down the stretch here. I think finding those close-range rhythm shots.
And Athens with some changes. The doctors checked in for Flash. The professor comes in for Mr. Perfect. And the captain subbed in for Champ. Pass to the general. Count it. And he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Pass to Porzingis. Anthony on the wing. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Again, the miss by Anthony.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Inside, it's deflected. And now Athens on the break. There's the professor. Finished off the break. And now a 5-point Athens lead.
This is what you love, guys. Superb defense. A great steal, and just like that, they add 2 points to this narrow lead.
Yeah, but you just can't afford to give up plays like that at this time in a ball game.
Anthony with the bucket.
Great move to get to the rim. I think they're going to take the aggressive approach down the stretch.
Passes it to the professor. 16 feet away, and the basket good. A bank shot that time. The professor's got the lead up to 5 now for Athens. One of the stories here, guys, the general getting it done today.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
There's 1:54 left here in the fourth quarter. A shot by Anthony, no good.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Good on the shots. 18 points for the professor.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're behind by 7. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Anthony drives in. He dishes it to Lopez. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got his 7th assist here tonight.
It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, you know, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the right.
Maybe that hole is a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Down low. That's it. And the Athens lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Porzingis.
You know, they'll want to generate more of those shots in tight, guys.
Here's the general. Misses off the right iron.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
The pass to the captain. The 10-footer. The shot, no good. Some solid. Defense from Butler. But no room for error.
Kevin got to be perfect from here on out. You're exactly right.
A I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
I think that's probably a smart move.
I think so, too. The layup missed.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Flash is checked in for Athens. New York calls timeout. They're down by 3. There's 25 seconds left in the game. Clark, a big-time possession here.
Tell you what, their hearts have to be racing right now.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The drive by Anthony. Here's Lopez. It's hauled in by Athens, and they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game.
Exactly. You got to stop the clock any way possible and hope the alligator arm a few of those free throws.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
That ought to do it. I think any chance for a miracle comeback just went out the window with those freebies.
New York, no good that time either. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game. Outside Butler. Misses the shot. So Athens wins it, and they've edged in front in the series after an outstanding performance here in Game 3.
Kevin, it sure was. When teams split the first 2 games of a series, Game 3 means everything. They're
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Let's take a look at our Jordan player of the game.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Without his leadership and his spectacular play tonight,
And we are still early in the postseason. There's more round 1 action of the NBA playoffs coming your way. For Shaq and Kenny the Jet Smith and Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K.